from disowned by his family for starting a meat-based startup to being funded by the likes of Amansa Capital and talking about IPO plans, I'm talking about the meat-based online platform Licious. My colleague Sumita Karir caught up with Abhay Hanjura, the co-founder, as well as Vivek Gupta, the co-founder of Licious, to talk about their IPO plans, how they are likely to continue to see scope for growth, and their profitability metrics. Listen in.
You've done nothing sort of revolutionary. I mean, speaking of getting disowned by your family, do you want to throw some light on that episode? And has your father come back around? And what did it really take for you to build a unicorn in an ecosystem, in a sector that has a lot of taboos attached to it? You actually brought out meat out of that quintessential black polythene. How did it all happen?
Yeah, my father. So we are Kashmiri Pandits. And I remember when I spoke to my father in Kashmiri, you know, he said that ये चुन ऐसी शोभान, मतलब ये काम हमें शोभा नहीं देता है. तो जब उन्होंने ऐसा मुझे कहा ना, तो मतलब मेरी आत्मा की जो सिगड़ी है उसमें जो चिंगारी लग गई और आग सी लग गई. मैंने कहा ये मेरे पढ़े लिखे पिताजी हैं, IAS अफसर हैं, दुनिया देखी है, सब समझ आता है. और बाय द वे वो ना कुछ मटन कबाब खाते खाते ही मेरे को कह रहे थे ये हमें शोभा नहीं देता है. तो एक हाथ में ड्रिंक था, एक हाथ में मटन कबाब था और ऐसे बोल रहे थे हमें शोभा नहीं देता है. सो आई थिंक द पॉइंट बीइंग, I think it was in that pivotal moment that at least I realized that the path of building Licious will not be so much about building a business, but it will be about changing the mentality of a nation towards a category which long deserved its due in the sun. And therefore that became exciting. So to this date, what's exciting for both of us is the fact that, you know, today thousands and thousands of farmers, you know, hundreds of fishermen are seeing hope in a sector which was otherwise forgotten in a kali theli.
I now want to also bring you in on this point about how you've been able to also manage a robust supply chain. You've been able to own the supply chain, and you know, you've been able to change the habits of people, because people have very peculiar habits when it comes to meat. They want to, you know, themselves go. Black polythene, of course, is one side of it. Yeah. But a robust supply chain was at the core of your success?
Yeah. Actually, if you ask me, 8 साल में से 7 साल 9 महीने supply chain बनाई है. बाकी business तो just happened because of, I think, great product and great supply chain. So from day one, and this is also quoted, that in 24 hours business got shut. So I'll start from there. On day one, we actually created a great chicken. Okay, it's called gold-plated chicken in that era. सब कुछ उस पर बनाया, अच्छा चिकन है, मेल्ट इन माउथ. वी एक्चुअली डिड वन इवनिंग डिनर एंड कॉल्ड अराउंड 45 people to taste our chicken. And for 45 people, we got around 70 kg of chicken. Okay, so we roasted ourselves, our own team, some 10 people we were roasting and giving them. And in the end, we did not have dinner left for both of us. So 45 people ate that gold-plated chicken. So that's how Licious started. And when we launched, on day one, we said all the 10 people will get 50 references. So that's how first 500 orders were created. All the orders were late by 1 hour to 2 hours. Every single order we delayed because we did not build that part of supply chain. We just created a great product. And we quickly, you know, went back to drawing board and said कि यार अगर एक इंडिया में कंज्यूमर को वैल्यूएबल प्रोडक्ट, अच्छा प्रोडक्ट देना है, it should taste well. Ordering experience has to be great. It has to reach in time. And finally, when it gets cooked, he has to say यार मज़ा आ गया. तो ये सारे part of supply chain, I think, are core for any business.
You know, since this is the core of most D2C companies, manufacturing or, you know, ensuring a supply chain consistency and quality, Abhay, I want you to weigh in on this, on what did it really take for you to build a robust supply chain? Because we have about 800 plus D2C brands. Most of them have outsourced these facilities to others, and which is where, you know, the gap comes in as far as ensuring quality is concerned and the not so good products.
Yeah, I think D2C is a highly abused word in India. So I don't know too many real D2C companies. I think D2C companies are the companies that own their consumer and know everything about their consumer by selling on Amazon, Flipkart, Nykaa, Myntra. I don't think you're D2C companies. So, and like you rightly said, मतलब यहाँ से एक शैम्पू पैक होता है, सेम बॉटल में जाता है और फिर वहाँ पे स्टिकर चेंज हो जाता है और पैकेजिंग चेंज हो जाती है. Yeah, so we realized that this is food and food is personal and this is a category that mattered to the consumers. You know, it had a vivid imagination. So, you know, I, with no offense, I know very few, you know, people who can, you know, dream about bhindi in their night or stuff, right? But meat is like, you know, consumers really love it, yeah. So the idea was to always put life into, you know, what was otherwise a dead animal, right? So coming to supply chain then, therefore, you know, we traveled the world there. We went to countries where the first organization of the sector happened. So Vivek and I went to Korea, Japan, China, and we saw the infrastructure and the companies, because Japan mein everything is sold fresh. So we saw, and we were able to reimagine, what will it take for this to happen in India. It also meant that both of us, by the way, had to dilute significantly at the outset, because we realized that setting up something like this will require tremendous amounts of capital, right? I mean, to put up a plant, to have a cold fleet, you know, chain fleet and so on and so forth. It required that, but I think above all, it required an organizational culture. So it's easy to say quality and supply chain and cold chain, but you know, there was an internal motto we said that, yeah, we'll never sell what we will not feed our own families.
So many other companies are also getting into this sort of quick commerce model, if I may say so. You also have Flipkart reportedly looking at entering into this space. Zomato has earlier also stated that they expect their quick commerce model to work more profitably than, of course, the core brand. So how do you plan to sort of stay ahead of competition? Because competition is not just from your startup brands, but also from legacy brands that are waiting on the sidelines, looking to jump into the fray, and also the likes of Flipkart.
Okay, ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है बाय द वे. तो इस पे मेरा एक बड़ा डिफरेंट व्यू है. सी दोज आर कॉमर्स कंपनीज, वी आर प्रोडक्ट कंपनी. कॉमर्स कंपनीज और प्रोडक्ट कंपनीज compete नहीं करती हैं. प्रोडक्ट कंपनीज कॉमर्स कंपनीज के ऊपर अपना प्रोडक्ट बेचती हैं, राइट? सो अमेजोन के ऊपर दुनिया भर के ब्रांड बेचते हैं. इंडिया में भी वी partner with some of these companies, and while they don't have that great cold chain, that's why meat has not scaled in the other commerces, but in the long run that is how it will happen. But if commerce company जो मतलब retailer है, आप समझो एक retail की दुकान है, okay, वो हिंदुस्तान लिवर से थोड़ा ना लड़ता है. हिंदुस्तान लिवर अपने प्रोडक्ट्स वहाँ लिस्ट करता है. आई थिंक सो दैट इज़ हाउ वी डिस्टिंग्विश. वी आर अ प्रोडक्ट कंपनी. वी हैव बिल्ट कॉमर्स बिकॉज देयर वाज नो अदर कॉमर्स कंपनी अवेलेबल early in our life to list and set up that kind of cold chain.
We're a high touch product company. See, that retailers can white label toilet paper, toilet cleaner, tissue paper, you know, bathroom brush, some stuff like that, you know, but just my consumer, you know, intuition doesn't matter. Ultimately, this is something you're putting in your mouth, right? So I think we are a high touch sort of, you know, product as well. So therefore, and Vivek, you can sort of continue, but I thought I should add this.
Okay, so what about profitability? Because that's, of course, the holy grail and how it should be. I mean, we've seen the past 2-3 years, there's been a startup funding of sorts, VCs becoming more and more careful about how money is spent, of course, preferring profitability over growth. What is your status?
Yeah, obviously, I think last couple of years, the mood has changed. By the way, entrepreneurs don't change their mood, यार. They are in long term. उनको 2 साल ऊपर नीचे ज़िंदगी में फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. अगले 25 साल यही करना है जब तक जिंदा हैं. So, but I think investor sentiment is towards profitability. So we are like 6-8 months away from final profitability. So we are not that worried. Money is there. But I think it is important. I think बहुत सारे startups ने, including us, made few mistakes in the middle. You end up riding the wave. But I think it is important to keep eye on profitability in real time. You know, so check रखना वो बहुत ज़रूरी है.
And hence you have eyes on an IPO as well, anytime soon?
I don't know soon. अगर 2 साल को soon बोलते हैं तो soon with roughly two
एक
and a
आप
half
अपना
years.
point of view भी दीजिए IPOs के ऊपर, because a lot of companies are IPOing considering the retail investment boom, etc., the kind of returns that the markets are offering, which is not really the same as IPOs of 2021 perhaps.
See, I come from finance. I have a very simple thing. I used to tell Abhay, so Abhay asked me this question, कि when will Licious go IPO? I said, जब मैं public का पैसा ले लूँगा, then I will lose the right to burn that money. If once I reach there, कि हर साल हम dividend दे सकते हैं, profit cash generate कर सकते हैं, that is when I think companies do IPO, and that is when Licious will do IPO. If this simple equation is set, I think we will do fundamentally much better than any other public markets.
Okay, I want to understand from you, Abhay, what are your expansion plans now that, Licious is not just a meat and seafood startup, or a company rather. You also have snacks selling on your platform, other related items selling your platform. You're going into the niche of this segment. What are your expansion plans?
Sir, actually, this is a very deep category. If I put this in perspective, we're in NCR, and NCR alone consumes 21,000 crores worth of meat and seafood. So this should tell you, the staggering sort of, and what is Licious's business here? 200, 250 crores. I think that's our scale. So I think there's a hell of a lot of a market still left to be penetrated. So therefore, see, up until now, Licious built a direct-to-consumer channel because, trade was not ready, supply chain was getting built out, customer experience and tech was getting built out, our product capabilities were getting built out. But today, I think we are at an interesting stage where we can expand Licious by building it like a true omni-channel brand. So I think that's one immediate sort of next step that we see. And like I told you earlier, we didn't go online because we wanted to start online. Offline wasn't ready, right? So today, I think the time has come. And I think as a next immediate step, we want to just double down on that and continue to go deeper in our existing markets. We don't see the need to add 3 more new business lines or new categories over and above whatever we've built. We believe that this largely represents the consumer's consumption sort of share, and we just need to now be wherever the consumer is. And I think that's an interesting stage for us.
Let me ask you your thoughts on India's startup ecosystem. I mean, we've seen the Prime Minister speak about how, we are the 3rd largest startup ecosystem in the world, over 1 lakh DPIIT registered startups, over 100 unicorns. And, Minister Piyush Goyal was also stating that this is India's time and we must not miss the bus. When India or the Prime Minister really speaks about the fact that we need to not just build in India, but build for the world, where do you see India's role in that, and can India really do that?
Why not? I don't see a single reason why not. I think the one thing that will really help is if entrepreneurship is actually brought into the school curriculum at a very early stage. I think if children can be taught to take risks on the school playground and saying, "Beta, gir jao, kuch nahi hota." If you can teach them that, then I think that learning should be extended to life. There are communities in India which we say they are business communities. We have almost sort of branded them ki Gujaratis, Marwadis, Banyas, Sindhis, Delhi Punjabis, so there's something about what their parents sort of pass on to them. So one is obviously that, but I'm very excited here. I look at India's founders, and me and Vivek are lucky to have partnered with many, many founders as angel investors as well. And you look at the complexity of the problems that they are picking up. It's not funny. The sort of vision that some of the Indian founders are carrying and building truly for India products. I think it's creating global templates, if not global products, right? I mean, so many times we get reached out by entrepreneurs from different parts of the world. The other day, somebody from Indonesia reached out to us and said, "Hey, I'm building the Licious of Indonesia." Somebody said, "Hey, I'm building the Licious of Egypt." Somebody in India told me and Vivek, they're building a fresh vegetable startup and said, "We are building the Licious of vegetables." So when Licious becomes a verb for something, then you know that it is becoming a template for entrepreneurs, right? So, and there is so many such companies in India. So yeah, of course, India's time is here, but what that will take is, for all of us, the society at large, and there are so many parents sitting in the room. I think if anything, give your children to the wings to take risks and don't try to protect them.
All right, then with that, we'll wrap it up.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.